Okay, cool. Well, hello everyone. Today we have Alex Lashkow today with us. He's the co-founder of Linguix.com, a really interesting company. Alex, I'll just let you introduce yourself and tell us a bit more about Linguix.com.
Hey, Charles. Hey, everyone. Thanks for having me today. Well, actually, we are working on an AI-based writing assistant and language skill improvement system. That's it. So Linguix actually serves you as a writing assistant that speed up your writing, makes it easier, makes it correct and error-free on multiple websites via our browser extensions. And at the same time, it is a language learning tool that spots the patterns in your mistakes and offers tailored language training based on your mistakes. And so, yeah, you can make faster progress as a writer.
Quite interesting. I'm using Grammarly since I don't know how much time, probably since I'm an entrepreneur. How is it different from Grammarly?
Well, the main difference is that we actually not only fix your writing on multiple websites, on multiple platforms, but we actually help you to avoid your mistakes in future. So this is the main thing.
Okay, I love the UX, by the way, on the website. Really good design you made that. I guess you have a member of the team that specializes in that, or did you outsource that to an agency?
Yeah, we have our own actually team of designers. We think that UX and the look and feel of the tool is very important, and so we pay lots of attention to this.
Okay, pretty cool. Why did you start at Linguix? Like, what is your background, and why did you start that? What was the idea here?
Yeah, sure. It was like scratching on each thing all the way along, and I'm actually non-native English speaker myself. I'm native Russian, and I relocated to the United States like 5 years ago, and I decided to launch content marketing agency here in Miami because I have a marketing background for like 10 years for now. And I just turned out that I needed to create lots of content in English and manage a team of native speaking writers. And but my language skills, writing skills especially, were far from perfect at the moment. And so I decided to find some software to help me and boost my skill. And I used a bunch of tools, including Grammarly, by the way. I was a paid subscriber for it for more than a year. And I realized that I do not do any actual progress as a writer, because when I make a specific mistake 100 times, I then click accept for the directions for like 100 times. And then I make the same mistake again, and again. While language learning apps like Duolingo or similar, they only offered me and promised the long-term possible success if everything goes smoothly, but no actual help with my current business. And so I decided that it might be cool to create a tool tailored to non-natives first that will provide two at the time. So it would fix your writing, and it also will help you to improve your writing and language skill in the long run. So it was an idea behind Linguix, and I then assembled the team and started building it. And we're working on the tool for around 2 years from now.
Got it. I see the interest here. I'm also not a native English speaker. I'm from Montreal, Canada, and the first language there is French. It's really interesting, your background, to be honest, because yeah, I want to talk about like Russia. I want to talk about a bunch of other topics too. I see here. Can you hear me right, Alex?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, got it. Yeah, I can hear you. I want to talk about your background because you kind of worked at the Russian TechCrunch, which is quite exciting. So you were like an editor, you were a writer in Russia, and okay, I can get the startup appeal here and like your interest with all of that. Why did you decide to migrate from first to Moscow to London, and then from London to probably Miami? Or am I right in that chain of events? Why did you change place? Okay.
Yeah, I'm currently living in Miami. So yeah, the story was simple. I first worked as an editor, as a journalist. The website was called We See the True, and it is like a really Russian TechCrunch. We were writing about startups from all over the world and from Eastern Europe mostly, for sure. And I was excited about how this thing, like startup thing, building products, building things that may change the world. And simultaneously after I quit this job, I became a marketer for the offices in both cities. And after that, I had my own agency back in Moscow. And then I relocated, and I just decided to launch the content marketing agency here in Miami. And while I liked that business, but it was a service to the customers, the processes. It is every day is like the same. And I always wanted and dreamed of building something that never existed, and then it appears and makes people's lives better. So that was my desire, but I had no idea what to build. And when I found that idea, joy for me, and so I was very motivated to start building the tool, and so I am.
Quite interesting. How is the startup ecosystem in Moscow? I am in Mexico right now. There are some startups popping out here and left and right here in Mexico City, for example, and also in Guadalajara. Startup scene is getting better, but lots of corruption in Mexico, starting from the top. Obviously, politician is one of the position in life that you go in for power, and once you have that power, well, you can do all sorts of disgusting things with it. So like it attracts a certain types of individual. If you compare it with Canada's politics, Canada's politics are really clean, really polite, well put out, clean elections, few corruption, and you go in that position when you care about people. I guess it's a culture thing, but how is the situation in Moscow? How is the startup landscape, and how are startups dealing with this high level corruption, let's say it like that?
Yeah, well, at the time I organization was like booming. We had every new startups every new day. They emerged like like a big country with a big internal market, and so people could build great companies that work only for internal market and not aiming at a global expansion. It was great for several years, but after that, some policy problems and some financial crisis arose in Russia, and so the internal market became like smaller, for example, because the national currency was falling. Oh, after that, became Russian native entrepreneurs have I think we have in like absolute numbers, but for great international companies.
Got it. Regarding your company, Linguix.com right now, can you tell us, like, you launched that during the COVID. How was that? What problems did you face during COVID? Do you think it was an advantage, a disadvantage? Tell us a bit more of the story of your launch during COVID.
Sure. We actually launched before COVID because we are on 2 years from now. But we were launching ourselves during COVID because before we were building the product, the core product, and we sales and first back in June 2020, and it was a pandemic, and it turned out that the pandemic played a positive because Linguix as a writing assistant, as a tool for written communication, became more in demand during the time when people massively were shifting to remote work, and we had lots of new users coming to us even without active marketing and spending budget on paid ads. So for us, for example, back in last June, we had around 5,000 registered users, and for now 150,000 users on the
holy moly.
Almost, yeah.
That's a lot of
me personally, I think that the shift to remote work positively impacted that growth.
How many premium users do you have right now on those 150K?
We have around more than 5,000 of premium customers at the moment.
Really exciting. Do you have a strong redistribution of team members too? Like you have a lot of companies using your software. In terms of percentage, how many go premium and how many use the team?
Well, this is a bit tricky because while we have a team plan, our retail private users, most of them, as we see from the user statistics, most of our users are using Linguix for work. They're editing their documents, they run internal communication with Asana or Slack, and so Linguix for now is a business tool. Even if the person is a one-man band, we'll see a splash in for that feature as well. But it is ratio will be like 80% retail customers and 20% team plans users per month.
Got it. Well, that's quite exciting. I'm reading on your profile here, 100 people to watch in the blockchain and crypto space. Like, why is that? You're also into crypto or what?
Well, it was a time when I was running the content marketing agency, and it was a crypto hype, and there in crypto, and so I did some marketing research tailored to blockchain and posted it in this list. But it was before Linguix, actually. Yeah.
Got it. Where do you want to bring Linguix? Like, what's your Elon master plan for that business?
Well, our plan actually is to write an assistant tool to a corporate learning engine, the powerful corporate learning engine, because we would like to accumulate the big data we can use to train our language learning algorithm to create the most personalized and language trainings that any other tool in the world are capable to train people, not only who are non-natives, to train there for grammar or like spelling or punctuation. We would like to expand our writing coach tool, as we call it, to corporate communications, to corporate writing, like creating cold emails, creating job descriptions. And so we would be able to enhancement tool that will actually bring value. You can measure in like sales and people and companies will use language improvers, and they will see a very fast boost in their sales conversions, in marketing ROI, and in they will close jobs faster, the better job descriptions generated using our tool.
Have you checked line.ai and conversion.ai recently?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we heard about that. We're checking almost every tool that is .ai and following them.
What do you think about them? Because as you might know, I run an outsourced SDR agency. That's kind of what we do. We copyright a lot, and I will for sure try your tool. I referred to my team Grammarly today during our first all hands meeting, but I will surely try your tool. What do you think about these tools? Line.ai being 1v1 personalized outreach at scale, and conversion.ai being just a bot allowing to hatch a bunch of ABCDEFG tests. What do you think about those two?
think the first model is I view as a more like promising for now, but let's see where it goes because things are actually changing so fast. 2 years ago, when we were starting working, the grammar checking was like a hard thing to do, and right now it is now a commodity, and everyone has it, and you need to top of that making some additional adding some additional value to people, not only fixing their mistakes. And the same with these tools. I believe in the first one who is
It's quite interesting. Tell me about funding, because you guys raised a 350K round almost 2 years ago. Are you planning to raise more money?
Yeah, it was our pre-seed round, and we are now raising our seed round. We're in talks with some funds from United States, actually from Florida and from Europe. So we hope to close the round like in this fall.
So Vitaly's the technical guy. You'd be the sales guy. I would guess you're in charge of raising the funds, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Investor relations is mostly my duty, and we also have a third co-founder, Alex, who is like was our angel investor as well, and he is a German-based entrepreneur and investor, and so he helps. He works on raising in Europe, and I mostly in the United States.
What's the recipe to a good co-founder relationship? So you have like two co-founders. How do you maintain good relationships with them, and how do you remain productive with the different use of each one another's skills?
Well, my main recipe here is to be transparent and discuss problems and some issues when they just arise, not like hoping that the problem will go away if you pretend that it's not here. So this is it. So we talked and decided who will work on what things, and we follow this technique, and we we also communicate every day. We have our daily calls and on chats, and so we are open, and no rocket science actually. And you need to talk to people and everything will be okay, I think.
Got it. Over communication, that's like our number one value at Top Leads. We have three. So over communications first, second is over performance, 1% better daily. The third one is loyalty and love. So long-term and appreciation and respect for other human beings. So yeah, I guess communication, 99% of problems in life are communication problems. It's blind spots. It's information that has not well been communicated, and that triggers other humans because they think that you're sometimes hiding information from them, while it's just sometimes laziness or forgetfulness. So yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, absolutely. Just talk to people and love them, and everything will be just fine.
Exactly. I want to talk a bit more about you, Alex, the entrepreneur. So what are some of the daily habits that you have that create some energy in your day that boosts you and that brings you to the next level?
Well, I think my superpowers are that I can wake up early and do things right away, and that I am good at self-management or coming late to meetings. It's like 0% probability for that. And I'm also, I think I'm good at communicating with.
What time do you get up usually?
Yeah, at 6 a.m. every day.
Wow. Okay. My feedback, we're all different as humans. For example, this week I've been sending personality tests to my team just to, I know them, but like to discover more about them and to be more scientific about who they are and how to interact with them and how to manage them. I think we're all different, and that's kind of beautiful. On my end, I've tried the 5 a.m. stuff, the 6 a.m. I'm big on waking up naturally. So if I wake up and I look at the phone, which is outside my room, obviously, and it's like 6 or 7, I'll get up. But most of the time I tend to prioritize sleep because I spend so much energy on a daily basis. That's kind of my leadership style, and I have many hats in my business. So I tend to wake up like quite late nowadays, but obviously I think, yes, it can be a superpower because when you wake up early, you can get shit done before the world gets up and before employees start asking questions, before clients start spamming your inbox, for lack of a better word. And yeah, that's pretty cool. Do you have any other habits that kind of boost you? Do you do any sports? Do you have a specific diet? Any other habits?
Well, yeah, I have a habit of doing a 1 hour long walk on the beach at 9 a.m. after I put my youngest kid to the kindergarten, and that is actually a great thing to do because it's like your batteries are up and you can go and do things even more productive.
That's super cool, man. Is that South Beach that you're walking on, or what beach is it?
Yeah, it's Miami Beach actually. Yeah.
Cool. Whenever I'm in Miami, I'll go run, and I'll hope to cross the path of a Russian-looking guy. Are you listening to audiobooks while you walk, or you just walk and you are alone with your thoughts?
Well, actually, I prefer to walk with my wife, but when she can't come, I just prefer to go and listen to the ocean rather than listening to something.
Nice. That's a pretty good habit. And one crucial one, like when you get up, a key tactic is to get some sun into your eyes. If you can take that shirt off, good as well, because vitamin D is a huge thing when it comes to being productive, being awake in the morning. Kind of signals to your body that hey, you need to get up. And obviously vitamin D is the basis of all good things: testosterone, energy, immune system, and stuff like that. So I mean, it's a huge habit. And then if you walk on the beach, you do some earthing, which is like connection with the earth. Actually, it's grounding. So it's like a specific science, but that helps to wake you up and give you energy too. So yeah, that's a huge one. And whenever I have access to beach, right now I'm in Oaxaca, Mexico, so there's no beaches here, but I tend to spend like at least half of my year with next to beach. And I actually have a beach calling right now that you're mentioning that. So that's super cool. What about exercise? Do you only walk, or do you do some other forms of physical activity?
Yeah, my favorite form of physical activity is actually swimming. So, and as I live near the water and we have a pool in our building, so I actually swim almost every day, both with my kids and alone.
That's really cool. Yeah, swimming is like one of the best sports for the body here. I used to be a bit intense about it because I completed an Ironman a year ago, and like that's 180 laps. So that's a lot, but it's pretty cool because it's a form of meditation. You need to calm your body down, because you cannot breathe, obviously, well, depending on how advanced you are in your swimming techniques. But I mean, it's a nice form of meditation. At what time do you sleep? At what time do you swim? Sorry.
Well, it's usually like after I finish the work at 5, 6 p.m. and then I can go swim.
Nice. And at what time do you go to bed?
Not later than 11 p.m. actually.
Got it. So you get like around 7, 8 hours of sleep, which is pretty good.
Yeah. I try to keep that. Yeah.
Pretty cool. What about tactics when you feel stressed? Like, say there's a fire burning in your business. What do you do? How do you react?
Well, my best tactic is to reload the brain by taking a travel somewhere to some great city sometime, or to the nature, to the farm, for example. So the best thing in my business always happen after the travel.
And if there's a fire burning, you don't give a shit and you just travel, or do you fix the fire first? Like, how do you go with that?
Well, I do this in the process, actually. I'm always traveling with my laptop, and communicating the problems and trying to address them. But when you just, switch the location, it helps to not to stress too much,
That's quite
because you have
interesting.
the physical stuff to solve, like where you will stay, what you will eat, something with the kids, and your business problems look easier when you're have a lot of small things to do during the travel.
Got it. I tried this once, didn't work too well. Was in Ireland, fires were burning, and I spent the whole trip working on my laptop, like in a car, in hotels, because it was kind of a road trip. And yeah, that didn't work real well, but I guess you have a couple of things to teach me on that.
Yeah, maybe road trip's not the best, but like just flying to New York and wander it around Manhattan would help better, I think. Or maybe going to the location, to some farm in North Carolina and sitting in the cabin, looking at the mountains. It helps me at least.
Got it. Hey, this has been super cool. We did our time here, so I'm going to be respectful of that. Thank you for joining us today. It's been really cool, really enlightening conversation. I'm going to send you the details as per the publication date and everything, okay?
Yeah, thank you, Charles. Sure.
Thank you, Alex. Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.